to tonight's Dairyland Conference girls basketball matchup between the Eau Claire Immanuel Lancers and your Eleva Strum Cardinals. At this time, we ask all who are able to please stand and remove your hats to honor America and those defending our freedom with the singing of the national anthem, sung by Eleva Strum Senior, Callan Scout. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating good sportsmanship is greatly appreciated. The Dairyland Conference kindly asks all parents and guardians to ensure that their children are supervised at all times while attending our sporting events. Our goal is to provide a safe, positive, and enjoyable environment for all spectators, athletes, officials, and school communities. Thank you for your cooperation and for helping us maintain a family-friendly atmosphere at every event. Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineup. First, for the Lancers. On senior, number 11, Becky Mellner. On junior, number 14, Gwyneth Gergel. On junior, number 15, Savannah Quaid. On freshman, number 21, Paige Goodman. And a senior, number 24, Gabby Radical. And now, the starting lineups for your Eleva Strum Cardinals. A junior, number 0, Avery Glenn. A junior, number 1, Mania Brown. A junior, number 2, Avery Spanker. A junior, number 5, Eleva Zwiebelhofer. And a senior, number 12, Let's welcome the officials for tonight's contest. We have Mark Haas, Dale Nelson, and Rick Thompson. For your halftime entertainment, the Eleva Strum cheer team will be performing.
Hello and welcome to tonight's matchup between the Immanuel Lutheran Lancers and the Eleva Strum Cardinals. Taking the tip for tonight will be Radical and number 12, Kulig. Cardinals undefeated on the year, currently at 14-0. Lancers currently at 8-4. The second meeting between these two teams. Cardinals taking the first one by 31, 64-33 for the first half of the year. So, maintain possession here to start. Up top, got some space. We go corner for a little more space up for 3. That's off the inside, gonna get on the rebound. Gonna step back inside, cut off, slings one back on out of bounds. Turnover will send it back to the Lancers. Panthers, as mentioned, 8-4 on the year, currently second in the small. Maryland, 12th in D5 with 152nd in Wisconsin. Girdle with pressure on her. Swings it up high to Goodman, right back over to Girdle. She'll drift the other way and give it over to Downer. Into the paint with Quaid, poked out of her hands and taken away by Kulig. Cardinals up quickly. Up top, they send it back up that way towards Brown. Over to Glens, back to Brown. Brown got it, now back over to Glens. Back to Brown, this time she'll take it. Off the back as well, fading towards the mound, going to be rebounded by Radical. Averages 12.8 per game, gets her first early here. She'll take it off the floor, spinning around the defender. Takes to Girdle. Gets her dribble back and a handoff to Nelner. Nelner looking to drive inside, back up top to Girdle. Girdle fakes, looks, not a lot of options, back over to Nelner. Looking to drive inside, off the foot, taken away once again by Kulig. And the floor goes Brown. Direction, gonna go higher in the corner, the open three, second on the lights. And a rebound as well, tipped and handled. Right back up top with Kulig. Swings around to Brown, corner to Glens. Glens will step inside. Skip pass back across up top, open three contested. And a rim up and out, rebound by Quaid, she'll turn and handle it. Quaid averaging 6.9 rebounds per game, 5th in the Dairyland. Back over to Nelner. Into the paint with Radical, tipped out of her hands, ball on the floor, and can eventually be handled by Kulig once again. Moves it across to Kulig. Kulig can spot it back over to Glens. Glens will take a three. Bouncing out again, going to be rebounded by Brown as she dribbles it back out. Second chance opportunities early for the Cardinals. They've yet to hit so far tonight. Another open three in the corner. This one! Brown from the corner gets the scoring started as she brings it up by 3. A 30.7 3-point percentage shooter. As Nelner will step inside, kicks it back out, over to Goodman. Goodman fakes, she'll step inside, closer to 2. Gonna bounce out, rebounded by Radical. Radical steps right back inside, gets blocked, tipped up, and taken away by Brown. We'll try to push it. Got one in front. And Sandler sends it long as Goodman gets the rebound. Pressure coming from behind, she'll hand off to Girdle. The corner with Nelner. Nelner sends it right back up to Girdle. Pressure on her, back over to Nelner. Back high with Girdle. Quickly over to Goodman, pass high, too high and out of bounds, and they go right back to the Cardinals. 15:04 to go in the first half. Just 1 3 for the Cardinals. They shot quite a couple. Just got the one in the corner from Brown. Inside, gets pass back high, swings back around to Brown. Brown going to take her second. This one comes up short. Radical will save it and send it up to Nelner. Pressure on her, Nelner trying to get around. Forced back out. Sends it back to high with Girdle. Over to Radical. Back high to Girdle. Has some space. She'll step inside. Takes the Radical. Changes direction. Now forced to go over her head. It's being taken away. Pressure from behind. Banks it up and in the line. Bamberg on the board. One solid shot so far with Goodman stepping inside, couldn't knock it down. That's now this one taken away, read well by Zwiefelhofer. The Cardinals with another steal, taking it right back down the floor. Back up high with Kulig, over to Glens, Glens the deep three. Off the corner, rebounded by Goodman and handed off to Quaid. Goodman averaging 2.2 rebounds per game, already has 2 tonight. As Girdle with pressure on him, will send it over to Radical. Back over to Girdle. Back over to Radical. She'll step inside, look for a lane, kick out Nelner. Nelner steps in baseline. Pass back over to Radical. Radical steps through. Makes it off too hard. Rebound Quaid. Back up and in. Quaid gets on the board for the first time tonight. Brings it back within 3. The Cardinals look to respond in the corner. Has some space. Takes Kulig. Pressure on her. Sends one back down with Glens. Back over to Brown. Back to Glens. Fakes over to Kulig. Kulig the open 3. Bounces up. Out, but rebounded by Brown in the corner. Back up high, into the paint, one with Quaid. Help comes, steps through, draws the foul, but can't quite finish. First foul of the game will go on Miller. Which sends Zwiefelhofer to the line to take 2. Subs, routine. Second. Now stepping out, going to be rebounded by Quaid. We fall off for a 68.7% free throw shooter. Goes 1 for 2 there as it's sent over to Radical. Steps inside. Patient, going to send it out to Nelner. Nelner fakes, looking to split the trap. Will passes the paint. Radical's trying to step through. And a travel. Timeout called by the Lancers. 6-2, a 4-point lead for the Cardinals here in the first half with 12:50 to go. Back from the timeout, 6-2, a 4-point lead for the Cardinals as they take it back on the floor with Brown. In the corner, in the paint, one with Quay, gonna kick it back out, got some space, takes the 3, comes up short, rebound by Cooley inside, takes it back in, draws the foul, she's back at the line, taking 2. This one gonna go against Radical. He's just getting too high in fouls. Kool-Aid, bounce up and out. Kool-Aid, a 71.4% free throw shooter. Shooting up to 50% in her first trip to the line. 2 team fouls now in the Lancers. So he's making a 5-point game. Kool-Aid second. A bounce out as well as they come up empty. Rebounded by Radical in the corner. Take it back up, swinging over to Gurgle. Gurgle steps in. Fakes back up by the Radical. Stepping inside, has a lane. Kick out Neller once again. Neller going in baseline. Radical there to give her some help. Pass across, going to catch it on the bounce. It's Goodman. Goodman steps inside, back out. Goes to the 3, going to bounce off the corner anyway. Rebounded by Quaid inside, draws the foul, and she's heading to the line to take 2. Going to go against Brown, who is the leading scorer for the Cardinals so far tonight, making the only 3 they've had so far. Way at the line, shooting free throws, only a 57.1% free throw shooter. That's our first. Bounce off the bat. We're the only scorer for the Lancers tonight. Trying to bring it down to a 1-possession, 3-point game for her second free throw. Statistically, she should make this. Gonna bounce off the back as well. Tipped out of bounds. Gonna stay with the Lancers though. So possession not quite over yet. We're gonna pass it from the baseline for the first time tonight. As the first sum of the night will enter in as number 10 Bauer. In for Spangberg. Passing baseline coming in from Nelner. It's into Quaid. Quaid got some space. Hits it off the backboard too hard. Radical trying to step around. Block, tipped up, and taken away by Bauer. Pass across to Gloves. Sends him back out to Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid the open 3. Brings out. Rebound Quaid. And she'll take it up the floor. Before handing off to Gurgle. Drives around towards Nelner. Lines right up on her, gives it over to Nelner. Looking for an option. Goes in baseline. Takes a bump and a foul. Going to be called. Good job from Nelner to force the issue. Draws the foul from Kool-Aid. Now both teams with 2. Nelner on the pass in baseline. Has Gurgle corner. Pass deflected and taken away from Quaid. Gloves in a 2-on-1. Gurgle stares her down, now forced to kick it back out. Swings around to Kool-Aid. Kool-Aid fakes the open 3. Back over to Glantz. Glantz will take the 3. And hits! One for the board for the first down tonight with a 3. Gurgle with pressure on her in the backcourt. Radical up to help her. She'll give it to her. Back into the paint with Quaid. Kick out Goodman. Back over to Quaid. Pass deflected. Handled by Radical. She'll spin, look for an option. Spinning back inside. Steps through, pass deflecting, then he handled by Neller once again. Neller goes in baseline, little fade. Comes up short, rebounded by Bauer. Let's Rescue pass up top. Brown up in 3, won't take it. Back across the Glens, left side to side. Nelner gets in front, bounces up and out. Rebounded by Nelner, her first of the night. Averaging 4.8 per game. Tipped out of her hands, last touched by Siefelhofer. And it'll be Lancer ball in the corner, passing coming in from Nelner. Has Gurgle if she wants it. Gonna try to go for Radical Red, well, and taken away by Bauer. Glenn's driving inside. Bad angle, gonna get it anyway. Glenn's has 5. The lead now up to 9. Up the floor with Radical. Gonna skip the dribble up with Gurgle. Now back over to Gurgle. To the paint with Quaid. Quaid over to Nelner. Nelner going in baseline once again. Passing to Radical. Redwell once again. Tipped up into the hands of Kulig. Lancers have done it a few times. Cardinals continue to read well. Now Glenn steps in for 2. That one goes long. Right side by Bauer. Draws the foul, which is up the line. Take a 2. First foul on Quaid. 13th foul of the half with 10:14 to go. After the timeout, 10:14 to go, 11-2, a 9-point lead for the Cardinals here in the first half. After the timeout, 11-2, 9-point lead for the Cardinals on the right, trying to make it 10. Bauer taking her second after missing her first. First one off the bench for the Cardinals, the first one off the bench for the Lancers. In. Monkey. That's Bauer's second free throw. 10-point lead now for the Cardinals as they bring in some press. Gets it up to Radical. Take your time, work it up the floor. Gets up high to Goodman. Not a lot of space, back up high with Gurgle. Takes the drive towards Lydia. No option. Drives back around. Gets over to Goodman. In the paint with Quaid. She'll spin. Has a lane inside. Little jumper. Gonna bounce out. Rebound Radical inside. Back up. Comes up short. Tipped around and gonna be handled by Kulig. He's over the lines. Rush straight in front of her. Comes out of the side. Cut off by Lydia. Back up high with Kulig. Sits on high with Brown. Back over to Kulig. Takes the Glens. Now it's skipping across to Brown. Back over to Glens. Back to Brown. Back to Glens. Has some space. He'll step inside. Sort of 2. Gonna knock it down. Glens has 7. Averages 16.8 per game. On pace for that once again tonight. Gurgle steps back, looking for a clean lane across. Gonna find it. Spinning around. Has Lydia. Won't give it to her. Back in, high pass, tipped, and taken away by Bauer. Hands off to Brown. Back up top with Cooley. Thinks about it, back to Brown. Pass deflected by Radical, out of bounds. Gonna stay. Cardinals. Number 9 to go. Cardinals holding on to that 12-point lead. Back over to Cooley. Back to Glenn. Steps into it, open 3. Comes up short. Put on the line, going back to the Lancers. For the Cardinals have been there, go-to all year, get up by 10 to 15 15 points. Get the press going, hope to get 10 or 15 more, 4 by 20. Just end it before the half even ends. Radical goes quickly, steps inside, draws the foul, and it'll be the full third on the Cardinals now. Gonna go against Kool-Aid, which will be her second. Second sub of the night will be Henderson, who will enter in for Kool-Aid, who now has 2 fouls. And we're going to get her third too early in this first half, as Lydia will pass it in on the baseline. So now she's going to give it to Radical. Triple teamed, deflected, taken out of her hands, and picked up by Bauer. Glenns will try to push it. Touch inside, Quay's there. Needs an outlet. Let's get pass across. Brown the open 3. Won't take it. Back in the famous Weeveloffer. Up top with Glenns, will hand on the on-blue line. That over red off on the lead, by getting tower. Now Brown gonna step inside. Quaid help comes late. Brown with 3 strong, good. Now with 5. Radical back on the floor, finds Quaid. Back over to Radical. Radical in the lane. Steps through. Nothing there. Glenn's right back up the floor. Pass up high. Goodman was there. Gets away over outstretched hands. Pressure on her. Taken away by Goodman. Up the floor with Girdle. Slow it down. Gets over to Goodman. Goodman got some space. Fakes. Back up high with Gurgle. Steps out. Glenns goes out to meet her. In the paint with Quaid. Quaid will turn. Trying to hand it off to Radical. Taking it out of her hands. Gonna get it back. Now gonna get it to her, but a foul called before. As I'm going to go against Glenn's team's 4th now. As Nelner will enter back in for Radical. Along with Chris. Glenn, so she picks up her first foul. Gonna pass it in baseline with 7:34 to go. Gets it high to Nelner. Fakes, gonna get over to Gurgle. Steps up. Gets over to Lydia. Pass deflected and taken away. Crystal send it up the floor. Brown can't finish. Rebound Quaid. She'll try to turn and go. Deflected out of her hands. Forced to slow it down. We'll give it up to Lydia. Over to Gurgle. Back over to Lydia. Fakes to the paint. Takes to the corner, now pressure comes. Gonna give it to Quaid. Quaid no option, gonna take it herself. Kick out, Goodman. Won't take it, up to Gurgle. Gurgle will take it. Banks up and off. Rebounded by Lydia, gets her hands on it. Jump ball. Staying with the Lancers. Get pass in baseline from Lydia. The Lancers need to get some offense going. Only 2 points so far from Quaid. Chance for some more here. Off the back. Gonna get her on rebound. Kick out Goodman. Deep 2. Gonna knock it down. Goodman gets on the board as the Lancers bring it back within 12. Brown drive to the corner. Weeveloffer. Skip pass across. Chris won't take it. Swing back around. Right back to Weeveloffer. Drives in baseline. Pass across. Bauer on a good look. Back up top. High post, back up top, over to Brown, she'll knock it down! Good movement from the Cardinals, finds the open Brown, she's got 8 to the lead, right back up now to 15. Back over to Lydia, back quickly to Gurgle, to the corner with Goodman. Back up high with Gurgle, she'll drive around, gives it up to Lydia. In the paint with Quaid, Quaid turns, she'll step inside, no option, back up high with Lydia, Lydia the open 3. She'll respond! Big hit from Lydia as the Lancers get it right back within 12. Brown driving inside, kick out corner. Chris back high with Brown. That's with space, won't take it. Back over to Chris. Chris will do a quick release. Goes long, and a jump ball, which will stay with Cardinals. Here will be Steinberg for Brown. Runs out far behind with 7. I'll take a pass in baseline coming in from Henderson. To the corner. Chris will step inside. Back up high. Back over to Chris with her open 3. Has some more time this time. Can't finish. Rebounded by Radical. And handed off to Nelner. Lancers offense on a 5-3 run. Nelner driving on the baseline. Going to pull up. Bounces out. Tipped around. Picked up by Nelner. Took a shot to the eye. And they're going to do an official's timeout for an injury as Nelner took a shot to the face. And we will step aside. bench. And before the whistle blew, Cardinals technically took it away, so they would get the ball. As Ice settled under him for the first time tonight for her. Looking for an option. Takes it back high. Handled by Chris. Looking for a lane inside. Goodman there coming off, and the foul going to be called. Second foul on Goodman in the fourth foul on the Lancers. Now some still allowing to take 2 overs down tonight. Want to get her team into the 20s as her first turns out. Second free throw will bounce him out as well. Rebounded by Radical. Hook in her hands and a foul going to be called on Gunderson. And that'll be the team's 5th. Lancers will maintain possession on the side. Cooley gets ready to check back in with those 2 fouls. See if Lancers can get her 3rd. It'll be a big blow for them if she's going to be able to go most of the second half. Girdle will send it back over to Lydia. She's in the paint with Eichstadt. Eichstadt return. Back up high with Girdle. In the corner with Goodman. Goodman first 3 of the night. Rims up and in! Big hit from Goodman. She's got 5 and the Lancers back within 9. And going around. Sorry, Spangler. Up top with Chris. Spin, looks at the corner, nothing there. Gonna take it back opposite corner. Force back out, down blue line. Lydia Bonner into the paint. Stiefelhofer driving inside. Banks up and in. Stiefelhofer's got 4 down. As Girdle takes back the floor once again, down by 11. Out. Lead it up to Goodman. Back over to Girdle. Girdle drives around. Pressure comes and a foul will be called on Spangberg. That'll be this team's 6th. Next one will have the Lancers shooting for the rest of the half as Girdle enters, Hoolig enters in, along with Glenn's. 3 fouls combined out of those 2. As Girdle will take it back to the floor. Exactly under 4 minutes to go now. Girdle picks it up into the paint with Radical. Kick out Goodman. Back up to Girdle. Over to Lydia. Pressure comes. Takes a 3. Back up to Girdle. Dribbles around, getting up to Goodman. The pass goes long, and it'll be an over and back once touched by Girdle. At 110, Northern point lead for the Cardinals. Goes corner, open 3 for Glenn. Won't take it, steps inside baseline. Back across to Cooley. Cooley steps in. Generates a jumper, gonna bounce off the front, tipped up, and into the hands of Girdle. Girdle back up the floor. Pressure on her blue line. Over Lydia. In the paint, Redwell and taken away. Slows down for the open 3. Off the mark, we're going inside. Foul called on Lydia. It'll stand. Kristen along to take 2. Chris early over 2 off the free throw line tonight. I'll take 2 more here. Quaid getting ready to check back in. Elner has returned from the locker room as well. First point of the night as Quaid enters in for Goodman. Second free throw for and now Neller going to check back in for Girdle. Now mostly on 15. Go. Gonna give it back up to her. Back up to Milner. In the paint with Radical. She'll spinning step inside. Remains scoreless tonight as the pass deflected. Handled by Nelner. Right back up. Comes up short. Tipped up in the air. Handled by Eichstadt. Back up to Lydia. Over to Nelner. No reset. Takes some steps inside. And a foul going to be called. It'll send Nelner to the line to take a 1-and-1. As Brown enters in. Second foul. Angberg. Goes in for Chris. As Noah will take her first free throw of the night. Only a 3.9% free throw shooter. As also entering in will be Gunderson for Spangberg, who has 2 fouls. So the boys are getting her 3rd. Now Melner lines up for a 1-on-1. First goes off and going to be handled by Glenn's on the outside. We're going to pull up 3 once again. This one off the front as well. And Eichstätt Wise lets that one bounce out of bounds. Back to back where they walked up the floor and just taken 3s from the top of the key. That one off the front, the other one a little bit more off towards the left. Hammett one out entering for the first time tonight. Or wait. Nope, Eichstätt. And now we'll pass it into Lydia. Pressure on her from Brown. Nelner will stay. It's up to her. Slows it down in the paint with Quaid. Up to Radical. Radical 1-on-1. Can't finish. Tipped up and rebounded by Kulig. Nelner comes in to take it away. And going to stay with the Lancers. Hold it, jump ball. As Lydia will pass it in on the baseline. That's Quaid high if she wants it. Let me give it to her. In the paint with Radical. Radical will step inside. Pass deflected and taken away by Bauer. Up the floor to Glens. Over to Brown. Brown steps inside. Can't finish and rebounded by Quaid. It's up to Nelner. Nelner steps out. Back across to Lydia. Can't handle it. Tip back up into the hands of Glens. Glens got a 1-on-1. Closes it up and in. She's going to get 9. Over to Nelner. Drives in. No option. A hand off to Lydia. Back up to Nelner. Nelner steps around. Back over to Radical. She'll fake. Drive inside. Hand up to Quaid. Quaid all alone. Off the bottom of the backboard. And a foul going to be called on Quaid. Gergel and Goodman back in for Lydia and Radical. As that foul went against Nelner, which is now her second. 1:40 to go as the Cardinals have a 15-point lead. In their final possessions. Another pull-up 3, and once again off the side. Quaid going to slow it down, gets it up to Girdle. Back over to Nelner, into the paint with Quaid. Quaid going to step inside, pulls up, bounces out, and rebounded by Kulig. Glens, over to Kulig. Let's get pass across. Brown, going to step inside, cut off by Nelner. Back up top with Glens. Over to Kulig. Back to Glens. Directing traffic all on one side of the floor. Gunderson, the paint, tipped away by Hammond. Hammond will take it away. Back up the floor with Girdle. Under a minute to go, Lancers still down 15. Up to Nelner. Nelner will spin and go. Gets past one defender. Pulls up, comes up short. Get her own rebound, little fade, gets blocked, tipped up in the air, rebound Quaid, back up. Still can't finish. And handled by Kulig. 30 seconds to go. Cardinals are doing 1 or 2 more possessions here in this half with a solid 15-point lead. Kulig up top. 20 seconds and counting. Goodman forces her back out. It's an option. Comes on high with Glens. Number 15 to go. Driving it on down there. Kick out corner. Brown won't take it. 8 seconds to go. Cardinals maybe one last shot. 5 seconds to go. Kulig needs an option. 4 seconds. Has to pull up. Time running out. Comes up short. A strong defensive stand for the Lancers. 25-10. They have it within 15. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the second half. second half, 25-10, a 15-point lead for the Cardinals. As Lancers offense struggling in that first half. Trying to come back after losing their first match, 64-33. About the same halftime score it was last game as it is this game. See if they can turn things around. The Cardinals will have possession to start us off. Pass will go in to Spangberg. Back over to Brown. In the corner. Back up high with Brown. Back with Spangberg to reset. Over to Goulet. Looks in the paint. Wait, stays in front. Gonna go back over to Brown. Brown looking to step inside. Radical there. Double team. Gonna get out to Ziefelhofer. Sends it long. Rebounded by Radical. The Lancers defense will hold in the first possession of the second half. They turn in the points on the other end. Over to Radical. It's been held scoreless so far tonight. As Quaid has the open three. Off the corner. Radical racing to get it. It's not gonna get there in time. It's back to the floor, goes Kool-Aid quickly up the floor to Glens. Glens some space in front, she'll drive around, kick out to Brown. Brown will fake it, step inside. Help comes, not in time, she lays it up and in. Brown now with 10. Over to Radical, she's across the line. Turtle comes up. He goes to Nelner instead in the corner. Eleva will step in. Over to Quaid. Quaid drives inside. Kick out corner to Goodman. Pass high. Back up to Girdle. Girdle will turn and go the other way. Now from there. Starts towards Radical. Goodman will come out. Fisher will give it to her. Back over to Girdle. Goes the opposite way. Over to Nelner. Nelner to the paint with Quaid. Poke out of her hands. Going to be taken away by Brown. Brown the one-on-one. Can't finish. Too short. Tipped up and out of bounds. Going back to the Lancers. No more passing in, pressure comes, Radical will come up for some help. Gives it to Girdle. Anyway. Girdle across the line. Lane side, cut off. Now back up with Goodman. Into Radical. Radical the one-on-one. Steps in, comes up short. And going to be taken away by the Cardinals. Glenn's back up the floor quickly. Steps into a three. Off the corner, rebounded by Quaid. Girdle trying to push it. Slips back out. Pass it around. Trying to pass it to Radical. Tipped around. Radical with a handle on it. Pass deflected. Now they'll let it go out. Then they'll stay with the Lancers on the baseline. Passing baseline from Milner. As Girdle corner going to find her. Girdle with some space. She'll take the three. Off the side. Tipped and rebounded by Goodman. Back up top with Quaid. Into the paint with Radical, taken away by Kool-Aid. Over to Brown. Takes the Glenn, she'll go back inside. Can't find Ziefelhofer. Now we'll give it to her. Radar now wants to step inside, kick her out to Brown. Brown's going to go on baseline. Back up high with Glens. Kool-Aid will pull up, comes up short. And rebounded by Girdle, pressure from behind, taken away by Ziefelhofer. Back up top, wide open three. Sends it long and rebounded by Radical. Radical now with some space, she'll take it up the floor herself, leading through traffic. Steps all the way in, off the corner, rebounded by Nelner. Bounces her way back in, and a jump ball, which will stay with the Lancers. Lydia and Eichstead in for Radical and Nelner. Down by 17 points, 10 hit to score in the second half. As Woody will pass it in baseline. Goes high with Goodman. Pass deflected and taken away by Glens. Gonna push it up the floor. Goodman is there, she'll take it away. Gets up the floor with Lydia. Goodman averaging 1.4 steals per game. It's her first later tonight. This is Quaid with some space. Has Goodman corner if she wants it. Gonna give it to her. Out of the space, she'll take it back out. Back up high with Girdle. Drives towards Lydia, gonna give it to her. Takes to the paint, now she'll just step inside. Takes a free over to Quaid. Quaid will step in, and a travel call before. Back to the floor, goes Spangberg. Over to Brown. Brown will drive inside. On the baseline with Glens. Takes to Kool-Aid, now going to give it to her. One-on-one with Quaid. Bounces up and out, and it's rebounded by Quaid. Back up the floor with Lydia. Corner with Goodman. Goodman steps in. Over to Quaid. Quaid drives inside. Has a lane. Blocked from behind. Gets her own rebound. Blocked again. It'll stay with the Lancers. Pass it from Goodman. Comes on high with Quaid. Back corner to Goodman. And foot on the line. Going back to the Cardinals. Drives to the corner. Back into the paint. Different option. Step around. Back across. Pass goes long. Glentz will save it, but picked up by Goodman. Back to Eichstätt. Up the floor to Quaid. Over to Goodman. Hands off to Lydia. Lydia's got some space. She'll step back up. Hands off to Goodman. Goodman spins. Dribbles up high. Deflected. Handled by Girdle. Girdle back towards Goodman. Give it to her. Goodman spins, and drive inside. Back out and around. Stuck with it. Needs an option. Finds Girdle. Girdle spins, going the other way. Up to Lydia. Lydia trying to cut back inside. Fakes, spins, over to Quaid. Quaid will drive in. Corner. Goodman, three. Quick release. She's got it again. Goodman yet to miss tonight from three. She's got 8 to the lead cut down to 14. Spangberg driving inside. Can't finish. Rebound inside, back up, draws the foul, and that's Glenn sending to the line to take 2. Ella gonna go against Quaid, her first, the team second. Now for 10 points on the night. Bauer will enter in for Lenz after her second free throw. Ball. Lenz has 11, and she will take that to the bench. Bauer entering in for her. As Lenz goes back up to 16, a little bit of press from the Cardinals. Quaid will get it in. Girdle. Maybe if she needs it. Girdle takes it all the way up. Change direction. Josh will put it. Go ahead and give it to her. Takes the dribble inside. Takes a three. Deflected out of her hands. By getting the hand line. Gonna take the jumper. Off the side. Gets her rebound. Blocked from behind. And taken away by Zwiebelhofer. Steps inside. Pass deflecting to the handle. Kick out. Brown won't take the three. Back up top with Kulig. Kulig will take the three. Comes up short, deflects it into the hands of Girdle. Slow it down. Up to Lydia. Driving inside, takes a bump. Changes direction. Deep 2, she'll take it. Off the side, rebound Eichstätt. And it's taken into the hands of Kulig. Different option. Middle of the corner with Brown. It's out of her hands, we'll keep it on the side. And back up top with Spangberg. Spangberg trying to back her way in. Hands it off up down for Kulig. Kulig drives to the baseline. Force back out. Needs an option. Sends one high with Spangberg. Step around. They're going to work her way inside. Kick out corner. Brown out of the space. Goes in baseline. Cut off. Back up top. Lancers defense really strong. Driving around. Swings to the high to Kulig. Back up top. Spangberg. Deep 3 won't take it. Back to Kulig. Into the paint. Swatted away by Eichstätt. And they'll stay with the Cardinals on the baseline. And down the area. Needs an option. Time running out. Sends one high. Neller can't get her hands on it. Kulig will bounce back out. Takes up her dribble. Needs an option. Hands it off. Girdle tries to go for the steal. Brown turns it back inside. Cut off by Quaid. Back inside. Blocked for the foul on Lydia. Her first team second, as entering in now will be Gunderson. After Bauer's 2 free throws, averaging 61.8 per game. Bauer's second night. Bauer's second bounces out. Rebounded by Zwiefelhofer. Kicked out, open 3 for Brown. Comes up short, rebounded sideways again, still can't hit. And will finally be rebounded by Gergel. It is fouled by Gunderson. First team foul by the Cardinals, second on Gunderson, as Liddy will pass it into Gergel. No one there to help. Here's in corner to Gergel. Gergel will turn and go. Pressure from behind. Stops, going to get it back over to Lydia. Gets up to Quaid. Quaid will turn, back over to Gergel. Back up to Quaid. Quaid will step inside, kick out Goodman. Goodman third 3 of the night. This one going to rim out her first miss. Gets up to Gunderson. Back up the floor. Spangberg tipped out of her hands. Going to save it on the sideline. Gets up to Zwiefelhofer. She'll take a 3. Drives her way in. Draws the foul and will hit the shot as well. Zwiefelhofer's got 5, a chance to make it 6 at the line, currently leading by 19. Got up on that area for Quaid. Makes it a solid 20-point lead. For Lilia. Direction. Good job inside. Takes it up corner down there. Hellenberg landing side. Cut off. Travel. Spangberg back up the floor for the Cardinals. Down. Had Zwiefelhofer for a moment. Now going to find Brown. Brown looking to drive around. Kick out. Spangberg 3. Off the inside. Rebounded by Zwiefelhofer. Kick back out. Spangberg won't take this one. Now going to step inside. Has a lane. Back across. One over by Goodman. Handled by Bauer. Pressure comes. Over to Gunderson. Gunderson will go. First point tonight for Gunderson as the lead goes up to 22. Lancers helps just 3 points in the second half. As Redick remains on the bench for the Lancers. And back up top with Lydia. Takes a 3. Looking one up anyway. Off the side. And rebounded by Bauer. Brown drives towards Spangberg. Forced out, will hand off to Gunderson. Goes corner with Zwiefelhofer. Drives in baseline. Inside, Bauer all alone. Will finish the win. Bauer's got 4 as the lead goes up to 24. Gergel across the line. Driving inside, off the knee, and a foul timeout called before. By Lancers. Back to now. Lancers down by 24, 37-13. Lancers down by 24, 37-13. As Gergel will turn and give it up to Lydia. Takes back over to Gergel. Back over to Lydia. Back over to Gergel. Takes it to Miller. Miller steps inside. Kick out Goodman. Goodman open 3. Up short. And rebounded by Bauer. to the corner. Glenn's wide open three. Sends it long. Rebounded by Gunderson. Kick out. Chris to step back three. Comes up short. Glenn's will save it. Tipped out of bounds by Hammett. And it'll stay with the Cardinals. That's a baseline from Gunderson. And timeout called before. Back to the timeout. Lance is only down by 24, 3-7-13 with a pass and baseline coming in from Glenn. Chris the open three, won't take it. Back up high for Bowers. Good pass across for Glenn. Back over to Chris. Corner. Flopper trying to go on baseline. Cut out. Back over to Bauer. Bauer goes left. Bauer's got 6 now. All the way across the line. Dribbles it off her foot. Scored over and back. Yeah, the Williams walks back to the floor. Back over to her. She's going back inside. Stop. Stop. She won't take it. Back over to Ziegel off her. She'll step inside. Back up top. Open three. Chris. Gotta hit it. Chris with 3 on the right. She's got 5 and the lead's up to 29. Over to Goodman. Back out with Nelner. Starts towards Hamling and handing it off to her. Little score with Goodman. Up, gonna give it high to Miller. Miller turns and goes. Cut off, passes to Eichstedt. Eichstedt puts one up, comes up short. And rebounded by Bauer. Glover drives inside, kick out corner. Christ again. Back to back for Chris. He's got 8 and the lead goes up to 32. Now we're only going to back to Miller. Back inside, just off the foot, ball 4. It's up and taken away. Glenn's an open lane. Hammer comes in quickly, has a pass across, won't take it, draws the foul instead. Which has Glenn's taking 2 more at the line. Now with 12 on the night, as Hammett heads to bench and bring in his girl. Second free throw. 13 now for Glenn's. Entering in will be Cooling. And it'll be Gurgle who will take it back up the floor. And Spangler back in for Bauer as well. Gives up to Nelner. Back up high with Gurgle. Back towards Goodman. Give it to her. Goes back towards Nelner. Give it to her. Fakes one step inside. Over to Wade. Wade fakes. Steps back in. Open jumper. Back. There's a rebound. Goes back out. It's an option. Or to Eichstedt. Eichstedt over the baseline. Pass across to Goodman. Goodman the open 3 gets blocked. Taken away by Cooling. Glenn's. Glenn's will try to push it. Hands off to Cooling. Cooling the open 3. Go ahead. Cooling's first point for the night has the lead up to 37. Timeout by the Lancers. 5:49 to go. 50-13. A 37-point lead in the second half. Back from timeout, 15-13, a 37-point lead for the Cardinals. 5:49 to go. Pass to the side will come in from Milner. Quaid. Turn. Steps inside. Back up top with Milner. Milner going to drive in baseline. Splits the defense. He'll fade. Gotta back it down. Milner on the board for the first time tonight. Brings it back within 35. To the corner with Chris. Back up high with Kulig. Drive in. Drop to Spangler. Back to Kulig. And the famous lethal offer. Off a foot. Taken away by Milner. Up the floor to Goodman. Slow it down. Give it up to Girdle. Corner to Milner. Milner's trying to go in baseline. Let's see this again. Pass across. Handled by Eichstead. Tipped around and taken away by Chris. She'll slow it down. Up the forward lines. Takes it out. Open three for Kulig. Won't take it. That's back inside. Force back out. Get past the Cardinals to Chris. Back over to Spangberg. Corner to Glenn. Glenn's going to drive in baseline. Lost the handle. Tipped out of bounds by Nelner. And that'll remain Cardinal ball down low. Passing corner to Kulig. Kulig will step inside. All the way in. She'll finish the game. Kulig down with 5 and the Eagles right back up to 37. Nelner. Back to the corner. Corner back out. Up top with Girdle. Back over to Nelner. Back out with Girdle. Corner with Goodman. In the paint with Quaid. Quaid will turn. Steps inside. Corner. Eichstead. Steps in. Back over to Girdle. Drives towards Goodman. Gonna give it to her. Goodman got some space. Won't take it. Back to the paint with Quaid. Back corner to Goodman. Back to the paint with Quaid. Over to Nelner. Nelner beat 2. Gonna hand it in. Nelner's got 4 straight. Down to 35. Glenn spinning around, trying to get inside on Milner. Back to Kulig. They give it up to Chris. Back over to Spangberg. Spangberg spinning inside. Has a step, forced back out. Kulig starts back inside. Up top with Chris. Chris, the quick release. Gonna hit it Milner. Chris having herself a half now with 11. Girdle steps around, back over to Nelner. Nelner drives in. Puts it up again. Off the back. Steps out. Rebounded by Girdle. Up to Goodman. Goodman going to drive inside. Back to Nelner. Here's to Quaid. Nelner drives in. And up to Goodman. Swung away and taken away by Chris. Chris in a 2-on-1. All the way in and she'll finish it in. 13 for her now as the lead goes up to 40. Girdle drives back toward Nelner. Back up top with Girdle. Back to Nelner. Back with Girdle. Corner to Goodman. Deeper corner with Nelner. Nelner drives the baseline. Splits the defense. Steps through. Can't finish. Rebounded by Glenn. Poked out of her hands. Taken away by Eichstead. Eichstead got a shot. Sends it long. Varsity flopper trying to push it up the floor. Quaid right there. Back up high with Kulig. Gonna drive inside on Goodman. All the way in. Off the backboard too hard. Rebounded by Quaid. Quaid will slow it down. Take it up the floor. And a foul call against Spangberg. Team second. Timeout will be called. Timeout 57-17, a 40-point lead with 16 to go. Hammett, Williams, and Dellner and Libby will all enter in. Ice will remain on the floor. And it's the most likely meter lab for the remainder of the game. We're going to hand it back up top, and Dellner going to swing across for Lydia. Goes right corner to Williams. Takes it up to Lydia. Inside. Out, and we'll give it up to Dellner. In the corner with Hammett. Hammett's got some space. Mistake. Inside with Eichstead. Eichstead fakes it up top with Dellner. Dellner can drive inside. Sends it long. And rebounded by Nicholas. Nicholas dropped 28 in that JV game and get some time here at the end of the varsity game. See if you can add a few more to her total on the night. Back up top with Chris. Chris looking to drive inside. Has a lane. All the way in. And a foul called on Hammett, her second, team's fifth. And he'll send Chris back to the line. Second. Bounces out. Handled in the corner by Gunderson. Throws it back up top. Handoffs to Chris. Over to Nicolette. Pressure on it from Lydia. Send it back high. Going to drive inside on Hammett. Force back out. Strum needs an option. 5. Step inside. No option. 45 seconds to go now. Gets it over to Strum. There's an option, tipped around, ball on the floor, and going to be picked up by the Cardinals. It's all going to be called against Williams. It'll be the team's fifth running clock with now 25 to go. Gets the pass in. Time running down from 15. There's an option from Nicholas. Time running down from 10 now. 5 seconds to go. She'll dribble it out. 3, 2, 1. 57-17, a 40-point win for the Varsity after JV lost by 20, 50-30. Solid 40-point win for the Cardinals. They didn't quite get up to what they had the first time they played the Lancers, but held the Lancers to half what they had last time. With Radical only playing 2 minutes in that second half. Not entirely sure why. Hopefully it's not due to injury. As that'll be 1 game remaining for the week for the Lancer girls. They will play at home on Friday against Augusta. The guys having 2 more home games for the weekend. So it'll be Thursday at home against Alma Pepin, and Saturday at home with a rematch against the Indy Gilmanton Indies, in which the Lancers won their first meeting of that, as they will look to improve the record after a close loss last night against CFC. We'll see you on Thursday for Lancers versus Eagles, as the Varsity drops to 8-5 here tonight against the